Ladies and gentlemen, would everyone like to please stand for the pledge? Do I have Mr. David Reagan? Yes, sir. Everybody like to stand up to the podium? Up to the podium. David Reagan. David is the president of the local veterans organization, Veterans Promises. He is honorably discharged from the Army Infantry veteran that served at 2 tours in Bosnia and Iraq. He earned the Army Achievement Medal, the Reserve Award, the Armed Forces Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War of Terror Medal, Army Service Overseas Ribbon, and the National Defense Medal. He is a community advocate for veterans and their families. He has an organization of organized many fundraisers to support the veterans in our community with the tools needed to succeed. Thank you for your service, David. The floor is yours.
Judges may hand salute. I pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, would everyone like to still remain standing? I'd like to have a moment of silence. All of us have seen the devastation that Hurricane Harvey has caused to Texas and Louisiana, and the 60 citizens of this count, basically, at this time, that have died. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And we're bracing for another hurricane, and you know, it's scary. There's no way to stop Mother Nature. Also, I'd like to remember our servicemen who died in the destroyer John S. McCain, which collided with an oil tanker in the waters near Singapore on Monday. The Navy servicemen were Jacob Drake, Charles Nathan, Logan Findley, Stephen Palmer, John Hoagland, Timothy Eccles, Kevin Bushell, Dustin Lewis, Abram Lopez, and Corey George Ingram. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And if it wasn't for our veterans or our servicemen and women, we wouldn't be able to be here today to have our meetings. So just a moment of silence for all of those. Thank you. When does he? Okay. Okay. I'd like to bring this
Mr. Regan has something he'd like to...
Mr. Reagan? Oh, okay.
On behalf of my organization, I just wanted to present you guys with a certificate of appreciation for donating a basket to our fundraiser. With that fundraiser, we were able to secure a building in Dixon City, PA, and hopefully within the next couple of months, we'll be able to start providing services for our veterans and their families.
David, thank you very much. Since January of 2016, we make sure that the Pledge of Allegiance is always done by a serviceman, one of our veterans. And it's great to have you here, and thank you for your service. If you'd like to come forward with a certificate, that'd be great. And congratulations on a job well done. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's yours.
It's going to be right out there in the reception area. Thank you very much.
Thanks for helping us keep the promise.
We're here if you need us. And our director, Dave Isley from Veterans Affairs, is here on his, was it second day, full day now? Third, all right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for your service. At this time, I'd like to bring this Wednesday, September 6, 2017 Board of Commissioners meeting to order at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners Conference Room. I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. At this time, I'd like to go into proclamation presentations.
Commissioner, prior to doing that, could we have an announcement from Attorney Sarah, please, before we start the meeting?
Sure, no problem. Attorney Sarah?
Yeah, Commissioner Cummings is not going to attend the meeting today. This, to my knowledge, it is the first meeting she's missed. She's homesick. I told her to stay home from talking to her on the phone. She could barely speak. Knowing the way she attends everything and to the matter of looking at pennies on budget, it would take a lot to keep her away. But she will not be in attendance for that reason. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Sarah. Thank you. 17-0235. I'd like to bring the Gaynor family up to the podium. Let's talk about the upcoming memorial event. Now we have Timmy, Lisa, and Tommy here today, and let's talk about what's going to be going on September 15th.
Tim, you want to go ahead? Want me to? We have a fundraiser.
We can bring a mic over. Don't worry. We can bring him a little forward. We can bring a mic over.
we-
Put the mic down that way, too. So if he wants to speak.
You want to go, Tim?
Here we go.
On September 15th, from 6 to 8 p.m., we will be having our 11th annual Tommy Gaynor Memorial fundraiser. My brother passed away 10 years ago from muscular dystrophy, and after he passed away, we tried to create a fundraiser to keep his memory alive while also helping charities that touched his life and local families that could use some help at the time.
You're the best. Thank you for being here. First and foremost, I'd like to say I'm very sorry about the loss. This is a good boy. I'm so sorry. So let's talk about the event itself. How did it start? Let's get a little into it.
Well, I'll take it, Tim.
Okay. That's fine.
We always thank the community when Tommy and Timmy were younger because a lot of people helped us out. So when Tommy passed away, we knew he always wanted to help, in particular another young person. So we've been trying our hardest every year to find some individual, some young child or family that's hurting a little bit because of medical expenses. And we've been successful doing that. This year, there's a young boy from the Dunmore area. He's just 9 years old, Tavon Collins, and he's suffering from cancer. He's had 2 or 3 bouts already. He's been back and forth from hospitals in Philadelphia. So it's been a real stress on him and his mother and his family. So they will be the main family we're going to try to help this year. We also give then some donations to other organizations that help the young guys out. The gift, not gift of life. What was I trying to say?
We give to muscular dystrophy, we give to the Gift of Life, and we give to the Ronald McDonald House.
Right.
Good job, Timmy. Good job.
And Make-A-Wish.
And Make-A-Wish, yes.
Let's talk about the date of it, time, phone number. If anybody wants to come, how do they, where, the when, the what?
The Tiki Bar,
Yeah.
the 15th, 6 to 8 o'clock. If you're looking for a ticket, you can actually get one at the door, but we'd appreciate it if you can do it in advance because it just helps us plan a little better.
Sure.
The number to call, it's $25 a person, and the number to call would be 570-346-8516.
At this time, I'd like to introduce a good friend of ours. We have the Lackawanna County's Disabilities Action Committee, and we have Keith Williams here today and Bobby Walsh, and we're going to have them actually do the presentation of the certificate. Would you like to come up, Keith, to say a few words? Come up to the mic. Robbie, get ready. You're on. Don't worry, Bobby. You're next, so get ready.
Thank you, commissioners. Yeah, we're glad to see that that this is being celebrated today, both in terms of the Gaynor family and everything they do on behalf of people with disabilities, and the organization and the event that helps keep alive and memory, and particularly since it's geared toward children with disabilities and different types of disabilities that we just heard about before with the different kinds of organizations that are involved. It's not just one single particular disability. It's just kind of a good cross-section of disabilities. And we're just hoping, and when you were talking about the logistics of the event and the time and the location and the price, the more the merrier. So hopefully here everybody will be able to attend.
Great. I'd like to thank Tommy, Lisa, Timmy. Thank you, and Timmy especially. Thank you to you. Thank you for being here. My dad died 25 years ago. We raced against cancer for him to keep his memory alive, and what a great way to keep your brother alive. Thank you, and your impact is immense. You're helping the children. You're helping all different people in their issues. A lot of people are sickly, and it's unaffordable for them to be able to get certain things, and you're actually getting them over the finish line. So it really matters to all of us. And Commissioner Terriani?
Timmy, great job. Keep up the good work. Keep your mother and father straight. Make sure they stay on track. It's a great story. It's a sad story, but you're doing a good thing and you're doing the right thing, and thank you for everything.
Bobby Walsh. Bobby, you ready? Bobby Walsh is also on our committee. That's all right. Give him a
You
second.
might want to mention he's also a county employee commissioner.
he's a
and
county employee
one
for-
of our most efficient in our IT department, although he's missing down there right now again.
He always comes to work with a smile on his face every single day. And he's great. He's got great parents, too. Marcy, would you like to say a few words? You're on the committee, too. Would you like to say a few words? You can go up to the mic.
Just to mention that we're preparing.
Go right to the mic, because we won't be able to. We're going to bring Bobby over to the mic.
Good morning. Just wanted to mention that we're preparing for our resource fair in October, and we're trying to get local organizations involved in that.
What's the date on it, Marcy?
Saturday, October 28th.
Saturday, October 28th.
10
Beautiful.
a.m. to 4 p.m.
Keith, why don't you come and enlighten everyone about that? I think
Keith,
that's
why don't you
great.
tell them where the seed money
Yeah.
came for the fair, too, please, when you come
Keith,
up.
come on up. Because I want people to realize in, our 214,000 citizens that we try to make sure that the playing field is level for all of our citizens. All of our citizens. Because a lot of us grew up in a community where there wasn't even curb cuts in the 70s. And the world's changing in a good way. And this committee had been around for years. The problem was it wasn't active. So we brought it back in the new term in 2016. And it's very active now. And we have them going through the new government center just to make sure that we're taking care of everything before we do the build out on the Globe store. Keith?
Okay, thank you, Commissioners. And Andy raised a good point. I'm glad that Marcy had mentioned it. For some people who might not be aware, as Commissioner O'Malley just stated, the county does have Lackawanna County Disability Action Committee, which is made up of people with disabilities and representatives from some other organizations within Lackawanna County, working to promote compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, equal opportunity to employment, accessibility and services, and so forth. And one of our first major activities is the planning of what we're calling a Disability Resource Fair that will be Saturday, October 28th, Viewmont Mall from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And what we're doing is inviting organizations from a couple different perspectives. First, businesses that serve people with disabilities, like home health agencies, durable medical equipment dealers, different vendors, transportation, like companies that will retrofit vans so that people with disabilities, passersby, will have options and see what's available. Second, we're involving our network of human service agencies, nonprofit organizations who work with people with disabilities in the area. And third, that we're very excited about, similar to that, we're getting involved volunteer support groups, networks, fundraising groups of people with disabilities, and organizations who often work on a shoestring budget, and many of whom are just entirely comprised of volunteers. We see that as a focal point. And this is made possible through a generous donation, a grant from Lackawanna County, and I want to thank everyone here who's been involved with that and helped to make that possible. A $5,000 grant from Lackawanna County, and the Commissioner's Office helped us out with that, and Maureen McGuigan from the Arts Council, various departments within Lackawanna County, and Andy Wallace's office and so forth. So we appreciate everything that was provided to the commission to be able to enact and implement this. So we're hoping that everyone here today, everyone who might be viewing this,
Come on out.
will be able to come out on the 28th, 10 to 4.
It's about quality of life.
Right.
Keith, thanks for being here.
Thank you for all your support, commissioners. The committee appreciates everything that you've done. Please pass it along to Commissioner Cummings.
We will. Mr. Walsh, are you all ready? Marcy, we'll get Mr. Walsh up to the microphone. Let me get him over.
1995 at the Notre Dame game.
Donnie, bring the mic over.
They are a wonderful family.
Get a little closer on the other side.
I met Timmy in 1995 at the Notre Dame game in Indiana. They are a wonderful family.
Thanks, Bobby. You're the best, too. Thank you very much. Lisa, would you like to say a few words? Okay. Your son and your brothers and your hearts and the community really cares. We really do. And what you do every day does keep his memory alive. And like I said, he's in all of your hearts and everyone's hearts. We have a certificate of recognition. The County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Tommy Gaynor Memorial Fund in honor of achieving the designation of an organization providing not just good works, great works in Lackawanna County, given the 6th day of September 2017 by Commissioner Patrick M. O'Malley, Commissioner Jerry Notarianni, and Commissioner Lorene Cummings. We're going to come down off the floor, and we'll do the picture down there. Keith's going to do the presentation. And to the Gaynor family, I have a check for $100 to you guys that I wrote out for you guys so we can start with the party. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a celebration of a great life. Thank you.
No problem, jeez. Thank you.
It's all you.
My dad and my sister in here, they're part of the committee.
I'll back up.
Part of our committee.
Keith, want to get a little closer? We're going to have you do the presentation.
There we go.
Never mind, you're
Bobby,
good.
can you Bobby a little closer?
Bobby.
Bobby.
All right, everybody looking at me, we'll take 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2.
Good luck. We'll see you on
Pat, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Gary, thanks. See you again. Yeah, I think it's a week Friday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You did great. We're going to sign everything. Thanks for being here today. Thank you to the Gaynard family. Thank you very much for coming in.
I could see I figured something. That's a sense. So you got a long-term relationship. My grandfather. No kidding. Yeah. I could see that. Okay, next up on the agenda is Small Business Spotlight, Brunetti's Pizza and Deli, Scranton, PA.
Do we have anybody for the Bernetti family here?
Oh, sure, we have them all here. Get your mother up there, Michael. And your wife.
Come on, get over here. Yes.
I really don't need to read this one. I know the story. On St. Patrick's Day this upcoming year, Mrs. Brunetti will be there 60 years.
Full time.
It's a long time. Certificate of recognition. County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Brunetti's Pizza and Deli in honor of achieving the designation of a small business spotlighted in Lackawanna County, given the 6th day of September 2017 by Commissioners Patrick M. O'Malley, Jerry Notarianni, and Lorene Cummings. Just want to thank you guys for coming in. It's a great story. Last night, my wife and daughter were gone somewhere. So for supper, I had angel hair and pasta from Brunetti's. Brunetti's Pizza and Deli was established in 1958. For nearly 60 years, Brunetti's has delighted the Scranton area with fresh food and smiling service. Located in the Green Ridge section of Scranton at 194 Sanderson Avenue, it has long been a staple for delicious pizza and great sandwiches. Family owned and operated for 3 generations, Brunetti's serves their award-winning chili, freshly baked specialty pizza, stromboli, hoagies, and sandwiches, home-cooked entrees to go, fresh garden salads, homemade soup, fresh cold cuts, and more. Eat in or take out. They make their own creamy horseradish sauce, sriracha mayo, and sriracha blue cheese spread. Matt's Burger Special is always a hit. Now, Matt's not here today. Brunetti's has been chosen as the first place winner of the Northeastern Pennsylvania Pizza Madness Contest. Business hours are Monday through Thursday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday from 9 to 10. Party trays include cold cut platters, Italian cold cut platters, 2 and 4 foot sub platters, stromboli platters. Brunetti's Pizza and Deli is family owned and operated in Pennsylvania, invested in Lackawanna County. Thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome, Jerry.
So tell us about the family. It's 3 generations. I'm involved in the family business. There's lots of work to be done,
Yes.
but you get to see the smiling faces of your customers, and it really matters, doesn't it?
That's right. It's the people that made it work for us.
And your customers become more like family and friends than anything else.
And we appreciate that, and thank you.
Anything you'd like to add?
I started there when I was 2, Pat. I grew up in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Family business, the kids went to work too. They were there every day.
ironically, it's in my blood. My dad passed away when I was 19. I was going to Johnson School. I told my mother I'd stick around. I was in the trades. I wanted to be a welder. I wanted to go to the steam fitter school, and I told her I'd stick around till my number was picked.
Okay, it's a long time.
1980, we bought the building off the landlady, and my dreams went out the window.
But congratulations, it really is. And like I said, the family businesses, they matter so much in our communities. They really do. And there's chain restaurants, there's places, but there's nothing like a family restaurant. There really isn't.
Absolutely. It's been a lot
Homemade,
of hard work.
yeah.
We just got an online award in the past week, Best of Pennsylvania, and we were one of the top 10 best mom and pop stores in Pennsylvania. And they named places from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia.
That's
And
great.
we were right in the middle there, number 5.
That's because the word is out.
Yep.
The word is out. But congratulations, and like you said, 60 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the impact you've had on Lackawanna County on behalf of the 214,000 citizens. It really matters.
couldn't
And
have
you
done it
really
without
matter.
you. Yeah.
And keeping your son, he's still waiting for his number to be pulled, so.
Yes, it came and went. And declined.
Okay, would you like to come up to the dais and we'll do the certificate presentation?
Thank you.
Thank you. I brought 2 days ago.
What?
I said I brought it 2 days ago. There's nobody home last night. I think I'm going to eat.
Where's Michael?
Put mom right in the middle.
Okay. Excellent. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All smiles. Looking at me, Mama. All smiles. How about
Come on,
smiles?
Mom.
One,
Smile,
two,
Mom.
three. One more. 1, 2. Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Am I gonna see you again now?
Yeah.
She wants to know when everybody's coming for lunch.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a husband out of it.
I
was a customer.
was that outside? Oh my God, there you go.
I met Mike at the store.
Is that amazing? It's great.
Thank you guys.
Coming in, Mama.
But that's really what it's about. You know, family businesses, they really do that. They make up our community. They do such great things. Thank you to the Burnetti's family again. Thank you for coming out. Okay, Josh. Step up to the podium. This is Josh Overwood, and a lot of people are probably wondering, what exactly is that in the middle of the table? Well, that is the Gildan AAA Championship, National Championship. That's going to be on the line this coming September 17th. Excuse me, September 19th at PNC Field. And we have the great opportunity to have it at PNC Field. And Josh is the president and CCO of the defending AAA and Governor's Cup champion Rail Riders. Josh, let's talk about 2016, and we'll end at September of 19.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on behalf of the Rail Riders and the New York Yankees. It's been quite a ride. You know, last year, not only did we win the Governor's Cup for the second time in our long and winning franchise that we've had here at PNC Field in Lackawanna County, but we also won our first national championship. And I got to experience that and go down there and see, knowing that we were going to be hosting it regardless this year. And it was just it was an unbelievable time. We really made some strides within the community and really got the opportunity to showcase what the future of New York Yankee baseball is. And it was we're excited that now we're hosting it.
How's our fan base this year?
We had a great year. We've had a great year. We've increased attendance, which is big. You know, we're looking forward to really, showcasing the area and showcasing the stadium on the 19th. And it's an opportunity that we went out and bidded. It's an opportunity that we probably won't see for another 30 years. So it's an opportunity that's really one of a kind. And we've put a lot of things together that we're proud of, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot of people there on the 19th.
Ladies and gentlemen, this says it all. This is the front page of the paper from this past week's sports section. Rail Riders clinched third straight division title. So we are in the mix. And if everything goes right on September 19th, we will be one of the teams, and we'll have an opportunity to defend our national championship. So this could be a great day in Lackawanna County.
Yeah, and we're showcasing our ballpark. We're hosting minor league baseball. All 30 major league affiliates, the president of minor league baseball, the president of the International League, the commissioners of the International and Pacific Coast League will be here. We'll be hosting them for 2 days. We put together a fan fest that will kick off on Tuesday at 4:30, where the Philadelphia Eagles will be there, and the New Jersey Devils, and our Penguins, and a lot of people that a lot of inflatables and fun stuff for the families to come out and entertain with. They'll kick the game off with some parachuters. There's gonna be some fireworks, and God willing, we're playing in it. The home team has never been represented in the national championship game, so this would be for one to make the playoffs, and which we're starting tonight. It would be unprecedented, and I think that it's just something that our fans should really be excited about the opportunity. They should come out and see them play in the playoffs, and hopefully root them on to this big game on the 19th.
Let's talk about what games do we have this week at the PNC. What are we talking about, Fridays?
Yeah, so Friday's game 3 of the first round against Lehigh Valley, our biggest rivalry there, and the Phillies. And if we come out of that, we'll host the second round the next week. That will run right into the 16th of September. And then we'll be bringing people in regardless of winning or not. I have a good feeling that we will be on the 17th, and we'll be showcasing northeastern Pennsylvania and all these great people that are coming here, and then we'll kick the festivities off on Tuesday morning.
Talk to us about Friday. What time does the game start on the Friday?
7:05.
7:05.
I'm sorry, 6:35.
Tickets are available?
Yeah, there's still some tickets available. And
what do they have to do?
Just go to our website or go and call 969-BALL. But it's last year we really set the tone. Our fans are the ones that brought us to it's the loudest I've ever heard the stadium, was those 3 days in the playoffs before we headed down to Memphis. So it was a big thing. And, right now for the championship game, we're sitting at about 7,000 tickets sold. We're going to sell out. We're down to lawn seats. It's been a great response. Let's just keep on winning, and hopefully, we can fill the rest of the ballpark and put on a pretty memorable event. So I think it's going to be an event that people are going to say, I was there. It's one that you don't want to miss.
So this Friday, we need to blow the place out, right? We need to have as many people there to cheer on the Rail Riders and get them to the championship game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's important. Playoff baseball is tough to sell because we don't know the game times until about a week before. So it's really last-minute decisions. It's getting the marketing out there a week before to let people know that the game's coming. And we're bringing some people up to Lehigh Valley tomorrow. We're going to cheer them on there, and then we're going to head down here and hopefully close it out on Friday night.
That's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, the viewing audience, just the behind-the-scenes stuff, the economic impact is immense. Hotels are going to be sold out for this game. Restaurants, it's just across the boards where it's going to the economic impact of Lackawanna County. And, and just to have this here and have our defending champs in the mix of it, that's what really, really matters.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked for about 14 months to plan, to actually host, working with our partners at the CVB and working with the hotels and the restaurants to accommodate, to showcase, because people are going to be spending 2 or 3 days here. All my colleagues, the presidents and GMs of all the other major league and minor league teams will be here. So we want to put on a good show, and we're proud of what we have laid out, and I think it's going to be an unbelievable 2 days. Like I said, if we're in it, it's going to be even more special. But it's going to be quite the showcase that we're putting on, and the facility and the Fan Fest and all that good stuff is going to go with it. So we're hoping that we get more games like this. It's the first big game that we've hosted with minor league baseball since 1995, and people still talk about how great that was. So there's a bar that was raised that we're trying to get to, and I think if we put on the show that we know that we're going to do, there's going to be more opportunities like this to host major events at PNC Field at the minor league baseball level.
So I'd be looking at all stores and all different types of opportunities. Like I said, I think that once they come in and they see that's fan-friendly, family-friendly, and that our fans are second to none, I think they'll be back for much more.
I agree. And I think that's the biggest thing is that a lot of people are getting out to the ballpark after it's been renovated, and it's and they're seeing how impressive it is. I think we led the International League and increased attendance again this year for the second year. So we're definitely going in the right direction with a lot of things. And I think this game is going to be the cherry on top to put our facility and our franchise as one of the top in minor league baseball, and I think that we'll continue to be in the mix for getting these type of events. We want the All-Star game. We're going to go after that. And we want to be able to host prospect games, and we want to get the Yankees down here and maybe see them in an exhibition game. I mean, those are
That'd
things
be great.
that we're trying to work at in the future, and those are things that I think this game's going to have a lot of implications for us to get that. So we're excited for it to get here, and we're glad that the support's been so high, and we're looking for more people to show up.
For the families who listen, big fireworks display at the end.
The biggest one of the year. It'll be huge. So there'll be one actually during the anthem. There'll be one during the seventh inning stretch, and there'll be one during afterwards. And I know I've been talking for a while, but I think it's also important.
It's fine.
To say that,
This is good for Lackawanna County.
The game is the big part of the game and the initiative of the game is for Stand Up for Cancer. And if you've watched Major League Baseball's World Series or Major League Baseball's All-Star game, the fans get to stand up for people that they're fighting for. There are people that they're in their family or for friends and family that have lost the battle. And currently right now we're over $200,000 we've raised for cancer that day. And we're going to have initiatives throughout the night to where you can meet Reggie Jackson and different athletes, and you can experience different things that night, and we're going to continue pushing that envelope. Our goal is to exceed $250,000, and I think that we're going to blow past that. So there's a special thing that we're doing that hasn't been done for a national championship game, and you're going to get the opportunity to stand for your person or people in the sixth inning at PNC Field on the 19th.
Josh, let's talk about what that $1 is going to mean from each ticket.
For the playoffs, yeah, we'll be donating from Friday's game all the way through the playoffs to the hurricane funds. Obviously, the Harvey Hurricane Relief Fund is the one that's currently active. I think we're all aware that Hurricane Irma it's making its way into Florida, into the East Coast. So we'll keep those efforts going probably through the game, and hopefully do something during the national championship game to help those folks, because it doesn't look like that looks like that's going to be pretty catastrophic as well. And if there's anything we can do, we're gonna put our heads together and our resources together to help out there as well. So there'll be other meaning to the game as well that night.
And what does Florida mean to the Rail Riders?
Florida, it's big. I mean, that's where Tampa, that's where spring training starts. So that's where these guys' careers start, and that's where the Yankees front office is. And I'm sure they'll get involved too. I'm sure they're doing things to help their communities, but they represent teams all the way up the East Coast. So we should be able to do some good there, and hopefully generate some funds that can go to helping people in need.
I'd also just like to bring up that this coming Thursday that we're going to have a $5 dress down day in Lackawanna County government, all of our authorities. And please, I hope that all of our employees are like family participate, because it really matters. Like, look at some of the devastation here. This is a land map of down in Houston. Like that's horrible. I mean, there's 4 feet of water there. I mean, these people's houses, their vehicles, they don't even have cars to drive. Loss of life, 60 people so far are missing or dead. And, look at this poor man. This poor man, his house is destroyed. He's there with his dog outside crying. I mean, that water was up at least to the window level. He has nothing left, but he has his dog. So these are the things that we're concerned about and the rail riders are concerned about. So please, to all of our employees of Lackawanna County government, all of our authorities, please donate $5 tomorrow to the dress down day, because it really, really matters. I have one last picture. Here's another person with their dog. We have a lot of dog pictures. This dog is being rescued from a house. And then we have a family. Now think about this. This is in their garage. The little girl there's probably 9 years old. It's up to their knees in water in their garage. It was even worse than that. So it's very concerning. But thank you to the rail riders for what they're doing. That dollar is going to matter, because there's going to be a lot of fans coming through those gates. I think that the 19th is a highlight for Lackawanna County. I had an opportunity to be here in 2012 when we had to make a tough decision for baseball to either leave the community or stay. And I'm very happy to say that I was here to make sure that baseball stayed. And it's fan-friendly, it's family-friendly, and it's the only sport where the great-great-grandparents, the grandparents, the parents, the children, everybody could come out for it. And it's cheaper to go to the game than to a movie. We have lawn seats. How much are those lawn seats?
I mean, you can get an allowance for $1 on Mondays and $2 on Tuesdays. I mean, the
How do you
affordability
beat that?
and the value
How do you
is-
beat that?
is where that's what we can control.
Yeah.
And I think, we do a great job with that. But then, now you got the quality baseball too. So we're pretty fortunate to have the best minor league
stadiums,
scouting and,
Yeah.
and development system in Major League Baseball, and then this beautiful ballpark to go with it. It's a pretty good marriage right now.
Congratulations on last year's championship. Good luck in the next few games, and good luck to you and your staff. And you know that we're going to be here to help because it really matters. And like I said, it's really helpful to the people of Lackawanna County. At this time, the last thing, it's time to throw out the opening pitch. You ready?
Oh boy!
You ready? Here we go.
Knuckleball.
There we go. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for coming in. And like you said, if you need us, just give us a call, okay?
All right, appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you
a lot.
very much.
Enjoy the trophy.
Thanks, Josh. Okay. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay. Resolutions. 17-0234.
Approving current payables. Be it resolved, Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the following payables from the Lackawanna County General Fund, numbers 248680 through 249459 inclusive, totaling $2,913,121.47. Electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $7,209,440.50. And our Controller, Gary DeBilio, is here if there are any questions from the Commissioners.
Gary, everything good?
Everything's in order, Commissioners. All invoices have been audited, approved, and already paid.
Great. I'd like to make a motion approving current payables. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Okay, 17-0220.
Approving driving under the influence sobriety checkpoint grant. Be resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the submission of a DUI sobriety checkpoint grant for Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office. We have Jill Schultz, the grant coordinator from the District Attorney's Office, here to answer any questions to the Commissioners.
Hi, Jill.
Good morning, Commissioners. This grant is for $60,000. It will cover for officers' overtime when they go out and they do roving patrols, cops and shops, and sobriety checkpoints. This grant will cover it. It's no cost to the county.
Try to keep us safe.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Thank you.
Commissioner Notary, anything?
I understand it.
Okay,
Very good.
I'd like to make a motion approving the DUI sobriety checkpoint grant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0221.
Approving a juvenile probation grant. Be it resolved, Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby approve the juvenile judge's commission grant for the Department of Juvenile Probation in the amount of $247,306. And Mr. Rich Clifford, our Director of Juvenile Probation, is here to answer any questions.
Hi, Rich. How are you, sir? Good morning.
This is an annual grant sponsored by the Juvenile Court Judges Commission in the amount of $247,000. Well, we've been involved in this grant since 2013. It is at no cost to the county. We have the personnel to do all the implementation that we have to do and continue to do. It's a unified program to help service families, reduce recidivism, and keep the community safe. So,
Nice.
To the county, it's no cost.
Okay. Any questions? I'd like to make a motion approving the juvenile probation grant. Do I have a second? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Rich. 17-0222.
Entering into an amendment to the inmate commissary agreement. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into an amendment to the inmate commissary agreement after receiving the recommendation of the Lackawanna County Prison Board to extend the current agreement by 6 months, now expire on March 10th, 2018. And our Warden Tim Betty is here if there are any questions.
Hi, Warden. How are you?
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you today?
Good.
We're looking for an extension of the contract with Oasis, just month by month, up to 6 months, just
Okay.
until we get this RFP finalized.
Okay. Board have any questions for the warden? Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into an amendment to the inmate commissary agreement. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Warden.
Thank you.
17-0223.
Has been removed at this time, and we will go to 17-0224, Commissioner.
Okay.
17-0224 is approving Lackawanna County Reinvest Program applications. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County has established a Reinvest Program, whereas the Board is interested in assisting local communities, organizations, agencies in the revitalizations of neighborhoods, whereas the Lackawanna County Reinvest Program has allocated monies from the county through the County Economic Development on behalf of the Lackawanna County Commissioners, making these monies available to county municipalities, county authorities, tax-exempt, charitable, and educational organizations, whereas it is the desire of the Lackawanna County Commissioners and authorizes the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners to sign all of the documents in regard to these grants that are granted by the Lackawanna County Commissioners. The following organizations: Breadbasket of Northeastern Pennsylvania, $3,180. Carbondale Columbia Hose Company, $10,000. Carbondale Township Meritus Hose Company, $6,900. Clark Summit Borough Phase 2 of the Veterans Park, $10,000. Clifton Township construction of an access road entrance per specifications for the land, $10,000. Dunmore Rotary Club, a World War I memorial, $7,500. The Everhart Museum, $5,000. Goodwill Industries, $10,000. Jessup American Legion, $8,000. Lackawanna Heritage Valley Olive Street Trailhead, $10,000. Music Youth Center, $25,000. Peckville Genealogical Research Society, $10,000. Scranton E.B. German Lodge Fraternal Order of Police, $10,000. Borough of Taylor construction of a concrete splash pad at the Dernick Memorial Park. Taylor Borough upgrades to the Veterans Memorial, including 4 bluestone benches. Taylor's $15,000, $5,000. Taylor Fire and Rescue remodeling to the apparatus room at Reynolds Avenue Station, $8,000. Taylor Softball League, $6,000. Triborough American Legion Noakes fencing, $8,000. Triborough Soccer, $8,000. Weston Park Teener League, $20,000. And George Kelly, who has authorized these grants on behalf of the county commissioners and met with all of these groups, will be here to explain these agreements.
So, George, we're putting a lot of projects over the finish line today.
20 projects, Commissioners, almost $200,000 awarded today.
Good economic impact. There'll be a lot of people going to work. We get some stuff done with this.
We're helping veterans, we're honoring veterans, we're helping the poor in terms of the breadbasket.
Getting a lot of contractors getting some work done.
Yeah, and the money just keeps on rippling because they leverage this money for a much better investment in our community. So it's a program at its best. With this round of funding, we still have close to $100,000 left for one final round this year too. So we still have money in reserve in case we have some high impact and needed projects come up throughout the balance of the year.
Great. Does the board have any questions? I'd like to make a motion approving the Lackawanna County Community Reinvest Program application. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0225.
George, before we leave 224, the commissioners have the opportunity to go out and present these grants to each of the organizations, correct?
Yes, they do. And what we have done in the past is usually we do a big check presentation to the organizations, usually when the project's underway. We haven't done that in about over a year and a half, go out to meet with the groups, with the commissioners. So that's something that we should queue up.
These are
again.
very sought-after grants, and I know we commissioners get contacted almost on a daily basis from the boroughs, towns, and all of these groups and organizations, and we did tell them the commissioners would go out and present them to them when they were ready.
That's a great suggestion.
Well, a lot of them are actually just coming to being at this point because it takes about 6 months to a year. So I spoke to Fran Pantuso. She'll be reaching out to departments. So set up a time with the Board of Commissioners to go out to see the projects and present some checks.
And it's
Thank
always,
you, George.
It's always good to see the projects face-to-face and see the people, how we have the impact. Great suggestion.
It matters.
17-0225, entering into an agreement with Educational Data Systems, Inc. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County hereby enter into an agreement with Educational Data Systems for administration, operation, of program year 2017 Employment Advancement Retention Network project providing career and employment services. Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Customers eligible to participate in accordance with the earned program policies and procedures. And again, our Director of Economic and Community Development, Mr. Kelly, will explain the agreement and answer any questions.
Okay, this is a contract through our Workforce Development Board where it's helping people on public assistance get job skills. Part of being on public assistance is that they must seek employment and look to improve their skills to help them get off public assistance. And this is a program that has high impact. It's a little over $300,000 invested. And what we find is 70% of the people that come into this program actually leave public assistance and do get employment. So it's a high impact, very important grant that
It's getting people back in the workforce.
Yes.
Okay, matters. Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into an agreement with Educational Data Systems, Inc. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0226.
An agreement for a strategic innovation grant. Be it resolved, Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into an agreement with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce for the coordination of healthcare, life science meetings for the development, distribution, and outcomes charting of a workforce needs survey under the Lackawanna County Workforce Development Board Strategic Innovation Grant. Mr. Kelly?
Commissioners, as you know, the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce and the Scranton Plan have been great partners of ours in economic development and workforce development efforts. There's 4 different grants here that works with guidance counselors, principals, teachers. It also works with children, and it has a high impact. There's close to 800 different touch points with teachers and students to help them get a good awareness and understanding of what's facing them in the future in terms of employment. So it's not a lot of money to do this. It's a competitive grant that the team down the Workforce Development Board applied for and we got, and we think it's a good deployment of the money.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion entering into an agreement with the Strategic Innovation Grant. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0227.
An agreement for a business education partnership. Be it resolved, Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into an agreement with Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce for administration and operation of 4 business education partnership projects providing career and occupational instruction support as follows: Healthcare Career Academy Coordination, Virtual Business Entrepreneurship Programming, High School Principals Guidance Counselors Forum, and Soft Skills Instruction for High School Sophomores. Mr. Kelly?
Commissioners, I gave you the explanation for that grant prior to doing this one.
Absolutely.
So what this strategic innovation grant was that I didn't talk about before was just a careers employment program to help healthcare to understand the needs of our healthcare facilities here and employers so we can tie the schools to healthcare and help them get good employees.
Okay, I'd like to make the motion entering into the agreement with the Innovation Grant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. All right. 17-0227.
Entering into a grant agreement for the, we're on 0228.
No, I'm sorry.
0228, sir.
17-0228.
That was my mistake. I rushed through. I'm sorry. 0228, entering into a grant agreement for area agency on aging. Be it resolved, Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby enter into a grant agreement for Title 19 Medicare waiver between the Pennsylvania Department of Aging, Lackawanna County Area Agency on Aging to commence on July 1st, 2017, expire on June 30th, 2018, and our Director of our Area Agency on Aging, Director Jason Kovulich, is here to explain the agreement and answer any questions.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Good. How are you, Commissioner?
Good.
This grant pays for roughly 10% of our budget every year. It is what we use to fund our assessment unit and our assessment supervisors. We roughly complete 370 assessments per month, and the funding that we get from this program helps us to meet the community's needs.
Great. Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into a grant agreement with Area Aging on Aging. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0229. God bless you.
Professional Services Agreement. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County enters into a professional service agreement with Carbon County Area Agency on Aging for person-centered counseling. Again, Mr. Kovulich is here to explain and answer any questions.
The Department of Aging has chosen Carbon County as the agency to help administer this funding. What happens when a person does not qualify for services through our local office, we're allowed to assist them in connecting with other services, like helping them fill out their Pennsylvania 600 application, which allows them to get onto adult waiver services. So we get a one-time reimbursement per consumer that we help connect to other services that would not be regularly serviced by our agency.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion entering into professional service agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0230.
An amendment to a grant agreement with the aging. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County enters into an amendment to a grant agreement with Pennsylvania Department of Human Services Nursing Home Transition for fiscal year 2016-2017. Mr. Kavulich.
This program helps us transition older adults from a nursing home back into their home setting. We have recently received an increase from $10 per unit of service to $20.21 per unit of service.
Great. Okay. I'd like to make a motion, enter into amendment to the grant agreement. Do I have a second? On the question, roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Jason. Thank you. 17-0231.
This is entering into the term of a Jessup Keystone Opportunity Expansion Zone, and I'm going to basically highlight what this is about. I'm not going to read the entire certified resolution, which is in front of us, which would probably take me about 22 minutes. I was also going to ask if I could possibly combine 17-0231 and 17-0232 and 17-0233 and 239 at this time, if the commissioners would have any objections, and I would read the highlights and the title of each resolution. Would that be permissible, commissioners?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. At this time, entering the term of a Jessup Keystone Opportunity Expansion Zone, a resolution extending the term of real property, earned income tax, net profits, mercantile business privilege taxes within a specific geographic area in the borough of Jessup, Lackawanna County, designated as a Keystone Opportunity Zone or Keystone Opportunity Improvement Zone in order to foster economic opportunities, stimulate industrial, commercial improvements, and prevent physical and infrastructure deterioration within areas of the borough of Jessup, Lackawanna County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A resolution extending the term of real estate earned income tax property in the borough of Archibald, designated Keystone Opportunity Expansion Zone, Keystone Opportunity Improvement Zone, again in order to foster economic opportunities, stimulate industrial, commercial improvements, and prevent physical and infrastructure deterioration within areas of the borough of Archibald. A resolution extending the term of real estate earned income tax properties within the township of Scott in Lackawanna County, again designated as a Keystone Opportunity Zone, Expansion Zone, improvement opportunities, commercial improvements, and preventing physical and infrastructure deterioration. And lastly, a resolution extending the term of real property, earned income tax, net profits, mercantile business privilege taxes within a specific geographic area in the borough of Jessup, Lackawanna County, also designated as a Keystone Opportunity Zone, KOEZ, or Keystone Opportunity Improvement Zone, in order to foster economic opportunities, stimulate industrial and commercial improvements, and prevent physical and infrastructure deterioration within areas of the borough of Jessup, Lackawanna County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, upon certain terms and conditions. And we're pleased to have Mr. Andy Script, the Vice President of the Scranton Chamber, here, and he's accompanied by the President, Mr. Robert Durkin of the Chamber. Bob, if you also want to come forward and if you want to address any of these agreements with Mr. Script, you're both welcome to.
Thank you for coming in, gentlemen.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Andy Scripp. I'm representing SIPCO, the industrial development arm of the Scranton Chamber of Commerce. The KOZ legislation in Harrisburg requires that 1 year prior to the expiration of KOZs, you can ask for an extension. An extension can be anywhere from 7 years, the minimum, up to 10 years. We're requesting the minimum, a 7-year extension. The sites that we're talking about is in Archibald Borough, next to the General Dynamics facility, in our Valley View Business Park in Jessup, and in Scott Township, where the Scott Technology Park. All of these KOZs expire at the end of this year. We already have, the three taxing bodies must approve the legislation, which is the municipality, the school district, and the county. We received approval from the three communities listed, from the Valley View School Board and the Lakeland School District. The resolutions were all supplied to your solicitor. We're requesting a 7-year extension to those particular sites. Your favorable consideration would be most appreciated. Any questions?
Andy, talk about what's happening in 2019 and 2020 on some of the other KOZ properties.
Okay. Some other properties that we have, for instance, in our Valley View Business Park, we already have 4 buildings where the KOZ expired and they're paying taxes. In the year 2019, for instance, the TMG building will come on the tax rolls. In 2020, 3 other buildings will be going on the tax rolls. In 2019, we can ask for an extension on those sites that have yet to be developed for another 7 to 10-year expansion.
Talk about how competitive it is to try to draw businesses into the area and that you need to be able to
In today's
showcase
world,
what we have and draw them in.
in today's world, you need incentives to bring companies into the area. As an example, a representative's here from Miracle Eusebia, where they have LERTA, a 10-year tax abatement. What we have is KOZ for 7 years. In today's world, you need incentives to bring companies into the area.
Let me ask, if we can't ask Lou Sebia to offer a comment to that.
Sure, Lou.
You're all familiar with
Thanks for coming in, Lou.
Miracle Development and their successes in our region. Lou can speak to that question very.
Thank you, Commissioners. All I would say is, in today's competitive environment for economic development and the creation of jobs, we're not competing with the next town or even the next county, but rather with states across the entire United States. So our competition really is New Jersey and New York and Delaware and Maryland and Michigan and places like that. So when we have a site that doesn't have a KOZ or alerted designation, the site selectors and the brokers that represent these companies that bring these jobs pass, they go right to the next state. So we're not even competitive. It's a check-the-box format that without which we can't compete. So really, it is sort of an opportunity to be able to create buildings in our case and land sites in the case of Slipco to be able to entice companies to come to our marketplace.
And a lot of these properties are coal-bearing areas that weren't paying taxes in general to start.
That's correct, Commissioner. They're low or no taxes at all, and the creation of buildings on them ultimately will be a tax base in perpetuity for the benefit of the county.
Okay.
Commissioner, if I'd like to add one other thing, because we're talking about the land issues here, but really just as importantly, maybe more importantly, is the job creation aspect. Right now, just up in the Jessup and Archibald parks that are controlled by Slipco, in which Miracle also has properties, we've created over 2,200 jobs. And so yes, the tax dollars are going to come on, and these incentives are necessary to make that happen. But at the end of the day, I like to say the currency that we run off from the Chamber and Slipco, and we do that in partnership with you all, is creating jobs, quality jobs for Lackawanna County residents, and those numbers are there. They bear this out. Our hopes are, by the time we're done up in those parks, 3 different parks, Jessup, Archibald, and the Valley View parks, we're talking about targeting 5,000 total jobs up there. And frankly, things are moving in the right direction, but as Lou pointed out, without this incentive, we're going to be sitting on those lands for a long time.
Yes. Like even at this point, you sit down with our director of the Colts Bus Authority, because we're looking at different routes, because we have to provide transportation to areas where there wasn't employment, but there's a lot now.
Absolutely. In fact, through the cooperation of Lackawanna County Commissioners and Colts, we addressed that issue out at Montage Mountain in the last year, with particular incentive dollars coming from the county to make sure that test routes were worked out. So that's a big plus. Obviously, the next target for us is the same thing up in Jessup and Archibald, with thousands of jobs up there and people needing access to public transportation. That's the next thing we can check off our list.
Great. Commissioner Terriani?
No, I understand it.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for 17-0231, 17-0232, 17-0233, and 17-0239. Do I have a second? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks for coming in. Thank you. Thank you, Lou. Thanks, Andy. Okay, opportunity for the public to address the board.
Morning, Commissioner. Bob Bolas, Scranton. First off, I'd like to thank the commissioners for the presentation you did when we brought the flag back from Iwo Jima.
Great day.
And we had 4 surviving veterans of Iwo Jima there. I purchased the flag. I was at the 7th flag raising on Iwo Jima. And then when I was at the reunion in Virginia, the Iwo Jima reunion, the flag went up for auction. And at that time, I made the commitment that flag was coming to Scranton. And it came to Scranton. And it was in a beautiful case with a tube of sand from Iwo Jima, from the beaches. I had a nice plaque made. The purpose of the flag was Sergeant William Gnost, the Marine sergeant who photographed the iconic flag raising on Iwo Jima, is still entombed in a cave on Iwo Jima. I have been there 3 times. Hopefully my next mission there will bring his body home and the other 2 Marines in a cave with him. I've spent a great deal of time traveling around the country, meeting with people, vets, and stuff like that. And we've pretty much come close to where we believe he's entombed. But when I brought the flag back, Pat came up on behalf of the commissioners. And what we decided to do is take the flag out of the case. And we raised that flag over the Marine Corps League. And so everybody understands, I wouldn't do it until every member of the service was there being represented. Iwo Jima wasn't just about the Marines, it was about every branch of our service and people who served there. And we had 4 veterans sitting there. When that flag was raised, the emotion that came from those 4 gentlemen, I can't even put it in words. And what it felt like to know that we did something to give something back to them. And that's when they saw that flag going up. It took them right back to the beach this very day. They were there when the flag was raised on Iwo Jima. And to sit there and see tears, as you did, Pat.
Real, like it was yesterday.
Come out, and the emotion was, it's just something you can't put in word. And I can't thank the commissioners enough. Bill Courtwright, the mayor here in Scranton, was there. He's going to be doing a proclamation also, naming it. What the commissioners did, they named August 5th, I believe, Sergeant William Gnost Day in Lackawanna County. When I sent that to the family, I was in Effingham, Illinois, and have been so much a part of what I've been doing. I had one of the most emotional phone calls that I received from Bill Gnost, his cousin that's been part of this. He was unable to attend this year, and I was trying to charter a plane and bring him up, but he just couldn't make the flight. What came out of this, and know that we have that now here in Scranton, but the vets that were there, there's only about 1,000 surviving veterans from Iwo Jima in the country today, and we had 4 of them. So, Commissioner, I want to thank you and the other commissioners for doing what you did. It put a day in history in Lackawanna County that could never be replaced. That flag came from one part of the world to this part, and the memories that were there, we had, roughly around 150 people, I believe, there?
Easily 150.
And we had a great buffet afterwards that was put on. And it was just one heck of an event. The only thing that really aggravated me, we sent out invitations to a lot of people. We sent them out to Bob Casey, we sent them out to Toomey, we sent them out to Cartwright, Matt Cartwright, and all our state representatives. You know, not one of them had the decency to honor what that flag represented and showed up there. And that was a major disappointment. Pat made it there, the mayor made it there. That shows just what representation means to our veterans. And these people could walk and go where they want. They don't like what I gotta say. Believe me, it's too damn bad. Because these people and what they gave us to give us here today, I can't even put it in words, the disrespect I felt for it. And I've traveled around the country And I met many, many vets. And as you know, Pat, on May 12th, Dr. Linfield's coming here. He's a clinical psychologist. And he's perfected a system for PTSD, which we're going to be here with the commissioners. Lou Barletta's going to be here. I spoke with him and other people, the warden and all. We're going to have people here from our fire department, our police department, and the prison system and all, because PTSD affects people for all type of instances. You just don't have to be militarily involved. First responders and people, just domestic people, it affects.
Stress.
And I want to thank the commissioners for setting up that meeting. And it's going to be on the 12th. I'm bringing them up, and we'll be here on the 13th. I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to Florida because we have business interests in Florida, right where this hurricane's coming through. And I'm going down there to pretty much take
care of
charge of
everything.
our operations that we have down there. So I'm heading out of here tomorrow, and hopefully it's going to go somewhere else. And the
That's what I
impact-
hope for. I hope it goes out into the
impact will
ocean.
Be minimal. And we've been involved in every type of one for many, many years all over the country. And if it hits Florida, Florida's below sea level, and it could be devastating. So I'll be down there taking charge of our companies that I have in the Florida area. And hopefully I'll be back here on the 12th, God willing, with Dr. Linfield, who's from Sarasota, Florida. I haven't spoken to him yet today to make sure that he still wants to do it. If not, we'll have to continue it only because of the weather.
Just let us know.
I will, but it's one of the most important things, and I can't...
Bob, you coordinate that date with Tracy Hart to make sure the
Yes, I
commissioners are
will.
all available. That's important that we have that on our schedules.
Right. I
Thank
spoke to Tracy already this morning.
Thank you, sir.
And the thing about it is, this is the first time in the country a county or an area is taking the lead. And I couldn't be prouder to say I'm from Lackawanna County in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and what you were doing to have this meeting done, that we could fund the brain mapping and everything else that needs to be done regarding PTSD. And if we could get the proper funding with Dr. Linfield and the people here to do it, it's going to spread across the country. It's going to go through every veteran center. It's going to go through everywhere that people have this issue. And I guess we're going to be the match that starts the explosion. And I want to thank you for everything, you commissioners, Lauren, and everybody else that are involved in this, because this is probably one of the most important things we'll be doing in this county in decades toward something that's been really ignored. People are killing themselves every day because it's been ignored and turn a blind eye. And we're not doing that now. We're taking it head on. And it's, I guess, what we're all about. That's what
Try to help.
Scrantonians are, people in this county are about. We do have a heart, and now we have a mission. And hopefully that mission's going to be very successful. And again, thank you. I don't really have much more. I know people have been here all morning. But I do want to thank you for everything you did.
I want to congratulate you because I got to see 4 veterans. You could see in their eyes because it was like yesterday to them. And they were crying, they were remembering, and they were thinking of the loss because they lost a lot of good people, a lot of good friends that day, those days.
They did, and
you made them happy. It was because they were remembered. You know, they should never be forgotten.
the one veteran, when I came over, Pat, and you were standing by there, and he grabbed my hand. He held my hand with both of his hands, and tears were streaming down his cheeks. And all he could do was tell me, thank you for letting me finally put the past to rest by seeing that flag. And I had no words for it, other than to say thank you for what you've given me. And you gave me the right to be an American.
So,
and each and every one of us.
that's why we're here right now. We're able to do this because of people like them.
And when I see, I've been down in Bradenton, Florida with the Black Lives Matter and all the white supremacists. I've gone head to head with them down there. people have to understand all lives matter. All good lives matter, let's put it that way, because we have bad people. And what we see going on now in Washington and places where this other group now wants to be a terrorist group, these are radical terrorists. You know, we want them to stay out of our town, because believe me, there's no place for them here. And just briefly, on the 22nd, I'm part of what they call the Spirit Ride. The American Towing Association, sponsored by American Towmen, we have a coffin that's been designed, red, white, and blue, for the move over law. It started off in Las Vegas, and it's traveling all around the country. On the 22nd, it's coming here to downtown Scranton. I met with the mayor yesterday about it to coordinate with the police, the fire, and everything for the escort. It's going to come from Allentown to me, and then we're going to take it from here down through Wilkes-Barre, Hazelton, down in that area, bring it back, and then take it to Dushnik's Towing, whose son was killed by a tractor trailer.
Good
And
family.
We're going
What
to
a
turn the
shame.
coffin over to him, then he's going to take it, have his ceremonial time, and then take it to Herkimer or somewhere in New York, where it'll be transported to another towing company. But we've arranged to have it done here in downtown Scranton, right out in front of the courthouse. And it's honoring all those first responders that have been killed, our state police, our fire, and our tow truck operators. I've lost 5 heavy wreckers on the interstates already over the years that have been hit by tractor trailers and cars that have run into us, including one that hit me in a car wrecker out here on the bridges by Roaring Brook. So we know what it's like to stand on the side of the road. And we've had tractor trailers, we've had people in cars, don't pay attention of what the move over law is. When you're sitting on that white line trying to hook up a vehicle, or you're doing an accident recovery with one lane closed, and they're flying by you 60 miles an hour, or texting, they're on their phones, or just not paying attention to how critical it is when you're on the side of the road. So I'm honored to have been chosen by the American Towing Association. I'm a 2-time medal recipient for saving lives on the interstate as a hero and all, plus an affidavit from the commendation from Florida Highway Patrol for my heroic actions in stopping a one-way driver. So I was chosen as our towing company to receive the coffin here. And I didn't want to do it in Troop or Dunmore or one of my other locations. I wanted it down here in Scranton.
What time would that be at?
It's going to be about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's on a Friday. So,
Thank you for everything you did up at the Marine Corps League.
well, thank you and everybody that participated, because they showed our vets who we really are. It's just disappointing the so-called politicians didn't respect who they are and allowed them to be where they stand today.
It's all about the veterans.
You got it, my friend. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Bob.
much.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, I have to leave. I'd love to hear some of the other stuff, but I gotta get packed up and heading south.
Good luck in Florida.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
We need the name and address.
I already know why I'm here.
I know.
My name is Edward Camerata.
Thanks, Ed.
I live at 100 Smalley Combe Drive, Scranton, PA.
Thank you.
I live in the Delaware Tower building. It was previously owned by Allied. 101 Smalley Combe Drive was previously owned by Allied. They sold them to
what
a
we met on?
profit company, a for-profit company in Chicago. And we are HUD subsidized. We all file for rent rebate every year. Last year, we got a notice from the management company that we cannot file for the rent rebate anymore. So I started inquiring, and they don't pay city tax, real estate taxes to the county. So I went to the Attorney General's office, as I told you, 2 years, last year and this year. Now, these people claim they are tax exempt. They are not tax exempt. There's no legal documentation in this county computers that's legal. The only word in there is it says exempt, which means nothing. They never took that off when Allied owned it. They didn't take it off now for what reasons, I don't know. But I went to the Attorney General's office and filed a complaint, and they got in touch with the owners, and they sent me a letter to AG's office with their name and my name from the owners, and they claim that they're trying to work with the tax assessor, which the tax assessor was working with me up to a point. Now they told the AG's office they are not going to pay a dime in taxes to Lackawanna County. So I told the AG's office that you people were not in office at the time. You're not responsible for 2008 when they sold the properties. Then I went to another agency and I told them the same thing. You people are not involved in it. The people that were in office in 2008, they were not aware of it unless somebody like me comes up and tells them what's going on. But the other agency I went to is the FBI, and they are handling it. And I was with the FBI last Friday again, and I told them I went to the mayor, and the mayor didn't know nothing about it, but he wanted a meeting with the county commissioners and whoever else is involved. He had that meeting with you people. You people told him there was in 2008 in the computer that there was a tax abatement for them for 10 years. It was never in that computer when the assessor showed me the computer, unless somebody put it in there now. Last Friday when I told the FBI about it, they says no problem. Anything anybody puts in there now predates it from years ago. Our computer people will pinpoint it right out.
Yeah, it's a fingerprint.
Whatever it is. Now, the county assessor was dealing with me, giving me all the information that he could up to a point. When I told him I'm coming down again, he says, call before you come down. That was August the 2nd. He says, the next week, call me. I called him and told him I was coming down and I wanted a printout of everything in the computer. Well, to this day, I never heard from him. So I don't have no problem with that because between the AG's office and the FBI, they're handling it, and the FBI is bringing somebody else in on it. And I was going to go to the other agency in Baltimore, Maryland, federal agency, which I was there a week ago, but I was there on kind of a debt and I couldn't go take care of my personal business. But I intend to set up a meeting with them and give them all this information that the Attorney General's office gave me, and I'm going to put it on national TV with 60 minutes, so the whole county and everybody will know about it. And I called Senator Blake's office about it, and they told me if I make them pay taxes, they'll raise the rent. I says to the man in the Blake's office, I said, you don't know what you're talking about. We're getting a rent rebate from the state lottery. Has nothing to do with the federal government. The federal government controls our building. And I says, now there's about 200 people being denied this rent rebate, plus every homeowner in Lackawanna County is going to get burnt because the mayor wants the taxes paid from 2008. So I don't know how you people are going to work that out. And there's nothing anybody could say that they give these people, a for-profit company in Chicago, they don't have to pay real estate taxes in Lackawanna County.
Eddie, we did have a meeting with...
I know you had the meeting.
Okay. And there is a John Foley, who is a tax assessor.
Yes.
Had an explanation for it, where he thought you, at that point, had understood it. They want a tax credit that corporations can, well, and again, that's his explanation for it, that they don't pay the real estate tax because they bought that tax credit, and that is why the real estate, why the rents in that building are that reasonable.
The rents in that building are because HUD controls the rent.
That's, again, I think it's probably a meeting you should have with maybe yourself, John Foley, commissioners, and have a conversation. He seemed to have been under the impression at that point you had an understanding of what it was. He has the case law. Mr. Wallace was at the meeting. The laws where it states they buy, large corporations could buy these tax, well, again, you don't agree with it or don't know it, but you don't know.
No,
that.
I don't agree with
We'll facilitate the meeting from.
Yeah, we can set that
We'll
meeting up.
facilitate the meeting. We'll have the county solicitor
now-
there to give you a legal opinion on it.
Right now, there's 200 people, close to 200 people that are denied this rent rebate from the state lottery.
We understand your concerns completely. We'd be happy to set up
What's
a
up to meet
meeting,
with you?
meet with you. We met for an hour, and they gave us an explanation which we understood, and we'll be happy to sit down again and explain it to you with the county solicitors. We're anxious to get the matter resolved with you. It's our understanding. It's a legal agreement. They are entitled to it. If you have information other than that to present to our county solicitors, we'll be happy to take a look at it for you, sir.
Well, I'll keep digging. In fact, I had my doctor appointment last week, and I says, I'm going to bring up about the 2 hospitals
Right.
that are for profit, if they have to pay taxes. He says, Eddie, they already put up $2 million, so I can't bring that up.
Ed, we're gonna get, where's Tracy at? Tracy?
It's right here.
Well, just wait a few minutes and we'll get your phone number and we'll set up a time.
I appreciate it. I know Mayor Courtright would appreciate it because he wants the taxes.
Well, he was here with his
He was here with us,
solicitor. With his
and he
solicitor.
understood it. He actually
And
understood
he
it.
completely understood that they couldn't do it right now.
Yeah.
Well, see what the FBI digs up.
And we'll have you come in, we'll have the meeting
They
with you.
told me that there's big names involved. I don't think the people up at Allied that are in charge now were in charge in 2008. And if they were, I don't care. Big names mean nothing to me. They sold in 1985, I think I bought our family home. And I'm on disabled from the railroad. I don't get much money. So I paid taxes up till about 2007 or 8. Then in 2014, the county sold my property for taxes. You think I'm going to let these people get away with not paying taxes, and they are a for-profit company? And according to these papers in here, Allied sold those properties for $10. That you people produced the information here to the AG's office. The AG's office sent me these copies. And I gave them to the FBI too. And I want to know if Allied used federal money to build or buy them buildings and now sold them for $10?
Commissioners, for the record, when we had the meeting, there were no allegations of any improprieties made. There were no allegations of any individuals named. And also, the county has received no request or information from the FBI or from the Attorney General's office for any information at all regarding to this, to the best of my knowledge, and all the while you've served as county commissioner.
Sure, no, that's what I'm here.
You think I'm kidding? You want me to give you the name of the FBI
I'm sorry, I'm just stating for the record.
We're
we haven't received
gonna set up a
anything.
meeting with Mr. Foley for you, that's what we'll do. And you got it.
You could check, because I told them, use my name, just like I told the AG's office. And when they send these letters, my name is on there with the AG's.
Well, we totally respect that, so
We
we'll
do
be happy to
respect
sit
that.
down with you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, Ed, thanks. Okay. Hi, Joan, how are you?
You got to set that.
I'm good. Joan Hodawan, it's 220 Linden Street. I just have a quick question. Since it's 62 days for the general election, are there any plans to arrange informational meetings with regard to the question on the referendum reassessment? We're going to have any public debates, public discussion?
We'll answer this under
Commissioners, I know you
business. We have
usually
commissioners'
answer,
business.
but I have, if you look right here, I don't want you to think I wrote it after you spoke. The note is on my calendar here on our meeting at Wednesday, September 20th, that I would be announcing the dates of the informational session, so I don't want you to think it's after the fact. We were going to announce it at the conclusion of the meeting today, Joan.
Okay. all
I
right.
apologize for interrupting, Commissioners, but I thought it was important that it be noted.
Because it's just 2 months away, and I think we need to start planning for discussion of this. It's a very important topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Commissioners, other business? Commissioner Terriani?
I have no other business.
Okay.
Commissioner O'Malley, for the record, as I started to say to Joan, at our commissioners meeting on Wednesday, September 20th, we will be announcing 5 regional informational systems to be presented on behalf of the question of reassessment. We will be presenting a video that's being prepared for Lackawanna County that hopefully will be completed by the informational sessions that are going to be scheduled for early October. And we will be doing other meetings at the request of the county commissioners. Commissioner Cummings specifically asked for one big public meeting where everybody would come and address their concerns, and we will try and set that up too.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Staff Wallace. I'd just like to thank the La Festa Italiano Festival Committee. They did a great job this past weekend. What a great 4 days, starting Friday afternoon and ending on Monday night with fireworks. Opportunity showcase the great Italian food, music, and it's just all about families getting together. And it was like it's the end of the summer event for Lackawanna County, and it really was a great weekend. And barring that we had rain the one day, but there was a lot of good people down there having a good time. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the Minicozy family. They had their annual 5K race in memory of a good friend of mine, Captain James R. Minicozy, who passed away years ago. And his memory is kept alive. And the one thing he used to always say is keep the faith. So, Jimmy, we're keeping the faith. I try every day. Also, this past weekend, we had the Steamtown Rail Fest. Lots of train enthusiasts, a lot of people going from the Italian Festival over to the Rail Fest back and forth. So they worked together very, very well. And also there was a boxing match, amateur boxing match at the Hilton Hotel, which was on Saturday night, and it drew a lot of people to downtown Scranton. And for our employees, just for them to remember that on Thursday we're going to have a $5 dress down day for the victims of Hurricane Harvey, so it's $5, and their directors and deputy directors of each departments will be collecting money. So please dress down for Thursday and bring your $5 in. The citizens of Texas and Louisiana could definitely use it. Also, on this coming Saturday, September 9th, we're going to have a ribbon cutting up at Ellsworth Park. They built a brand new playhouse. It's by the children's playground. Please come on out. It's going to be at noon will be the ribbon cutting. Also on September 16th is Heroes Day, and that's up at our 911 center. And that's on 30 Valley View Drive, Jessup. Please come on out. It's 11 to 2 p.m. You get to meet police, firemen, EMT, state police, our SWAT team, and have an understanding why when we go to bed at night, we're safe, because we have these great individuals out there making sure that we're safe and see all their equipment. And then also September 19th, the National Championship game up at PNC Field. Please come on out. September 22nd, we're going to be having our senior health fair at PNC Field, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please come on out. There'll be some flu shots available. Senior health fair, September 22nd, 10 to 1 p.m. at PNC Field. And the commissioners will be having a blood drive September 27th, and that's going to be at the Government Center, Globe, and that's 11 to 4 p.m. So anybody would like to give blood, especially with the catastrophes down in Texas and Louisiana, we definitely need more blood than ever. And last but not least, Fran, is that September 22nd, the fishing derby?
No, September 22nd is the senior fair. The fishing derby is on the 23rd.
Okay, and at Merle Sarnowski Park on September 23rd, there will be a children's fishing derby, 11 to 1 p.m. Thank you very much, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.